Hello, my name is Randy Ostrowski, the Director of Business Development here at the Spectrum Group. As always, thank you so much for joining us for the January readout and analysis from Spectrum's Affluent and Millionaire Confidence Indices, our monthly look at the attitudes, perceptions, and behaviors of wealthy investors. The Spectrum Millionaire Investor Confidence Index gained 13 points in January for a reading of 11, its highest level since February of 2011. This helped drive the continued steady increase in the Affluent Investor Confidence Index, which gained 5 points for a 3-year high reading of -4. The index had gained 4 points back in December. The increase in the Spectrum Millionaire Investor Confidence Index is reflected in the Millionaire Household Outlook, a survey of attitudes towards financial factors impacting their daily lives. The Millionaire Outlook rose for the second consecutive month, driven primarily by an increase in confidence in the economy. Caution still prevails among affluent investors, according to a survey of monthly investment preferences. There was a decided increase of investors who plan to not invest, particularly in non-millionaire households. We also asked affluent investors what is the one factor that is currently impacting their investment plans. Interestingly, there was a significant drop in the percentage of those who cited the political climate. Between the November election and last-minute agreements that averted the fiscal cliff, perhaps affluent investors are simply wary of the partisan debates and political gamesmanship. Whatever the case, they have more tangible issues on their mind, including stock market conditions and the economic environment. Speaking of the stock market, on Friday, January 25th, the S&P 500 closed at a level above 1,500 points for the first time in 5 years. The last time this occurred was December 10th of 2007. But not all market pundits are sold that there's more upside. Some analysts actually believe that from a technical standpoint, hitting the 1,500 level means that we're now due for a pullback, as this was right around the level that we were at when the bullish market trends died in both 2000 and 2007. On the other hand, many traders are looking to the all-time high of 1,565 to see whether or not that is going to be an inflection point in the index. Overbought or oversold, there's only one thing that stock market pontificators agree on right now: that they are all certain for more uncertainty. Not since December of 2008 have more overall affluent investors said they plan to not invest. Our monthly survey of affluent investors' investment preferences finds that to not invest gained 11.65 points to 46.9. This elevated reading may be a reflection of investor uncertainty over whether a deal would be reached in time to avert the fiscal cliff. It was, but that led into a renewed and similarly partisan debate over raising the debt ceiling. This survey, keep in mind, was taken before the Republican-controlled House passed a deal that would suspend the nation's debt limit until May. Planned investment in stocks remained steady from December, edging upward 1/10 of a point to 30.7, but stock mutual funds dropped 3 points to 26.9. Our monthly survey further breaks down affluent investor preferences by millionaire and non-millionaire households. Millionaires were much more engaged in the market than their non-millionaire counterparts. Planned millionaire investment in cash was basically unchanged from December at 25.4 points, while bonds dropped 3.9 points to 10.7. In non-millionaire households, planned investment in stocks was about equal to the previous month, while planned investment by non-millionaires in cash dropped 16.7 points to 17.7, a 9-month low. The question now remains: are we in a truly bullish environment for stocks based on solid fundamentals and positive earnings growth, or is this just another bubble waiting to pop? The liquidity pumped into our economy by the Federal Reserve has been a significant driver of equity prices since the Great Depression. But now that the Fed has played all the cards in their hand, it's no longer in their power to prop up the economy. Only time will tell if slow yet solid economic growth will be enough of a boon for the country, or if we are due to slip back into a recessionary environment.